All right, so I started this new YouTube channel and I thought the most important thing to do was to really just streamline a studio setup. And so I spent tens of 20s of hours building out this studio. And what I found was that, yes, it's gonna be helpful, but I think right now I have to focus on being just genuine and sharing my story. I have a business online. It is an advertising agency. I've had it for 8.5 years. I'm the sole owner. And over the years, I've built this business, and what I found is that it's not fulfilling me anymore to stay in the business because the products we sell and the way we sell them isn't what I want. I want to actually build something sustainable long-term. And also I found that the knowledge I was learning was really just kind of mastering the Facebook algorithm, mastering social media advertising, paid traffic. And I wanted to learn how to be a more organic brand, a more organic influence. And so this is my journey, and I'm going to document a day in my life right now and talk about the steps, the process, what I'm going through, because for me, it's been very challenging to reinvent myself. I'm 28. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually 38 now, on my 4th career. And I'm hoping that by sharing my insights, being completely open and honest about everything, and just coming from a straight up genuine place, I can share with all of you, and this can inspire you that no matter what age you are, no matter what your life situation, you can reinvent yourself. You can make yourself into who you want to be. And the biggest way to do that is through becoming vulnerable, through sharing your journey, and through discussing with people exactly what you're thinking and what you don't know, and not acting like you know everything, because there's so many people out there that claim that they know everything and that they show the best parts of their lives. And I want to show the challenges, the trials, the tribulations, and the ways that I've set myself up to be really powerful and really kind of support myself. But I still find myself super excited and motivated about being on the channel to share with you all what my journey looks like. So this is my journey from transitioning out of a 10 million plus business, and what I'm going through, and the steps and the mindsets that I'm going through to put that together so I can build a brand around real estate. My goal is to get into real estate. I want to learn how to become a real estate agent. I want to learn how to become a stocks and money master. I'm not saying I'm going to be the best in the world, but I am saying that I want to have the fundamental knowledge to be able to do fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and learn the basics and provide some value to all of you on this channel. So thank you for watching. We're going to go ahead and jump into it now. Become a creator, I know that I'm going to have to really put together content and be comfortable with that. And so I built this studio over here that has been previously set up as a guest room with a Murphy bed over there, but I ended up putting in desks here. And what I did was I actually set up a mic stand, lights so I could record at night. I've actually never recorded at night in my life until recently, and that was a big change for me, having lighting that I can actually use to record at night. P.S. You got to get a lot of lights if you're going to do recording at night. At least probably 4 adjustable LEDs is important, because you're going to need to adjust the exposure on your camera. And then I have a mic boom here with a kind of a static mic here, along with a teleprompter, which that took a little bit of figuring out, but I don't even know if that's the right move yet. I also have a screen here that records everything into it, and I have what we have here is called a switch, and the switch actually streams the recording over to this computer here. So I can literally just go to QuickTime, fire it up, and then I can see what I have recording. So when I start pumping out content and understanding what I want to do with the actual value and the actual knowledge and content that I have to offer people, that's going to be a place where I can actually go in and do that. But until that happens, I'm kind of stuck right now having to just focus on the mobile setup. So my mobile setup, just so you all know, is this Sony a6600. I think this camera is amazing. I have a whole nother channel, actually, Carnivore Kurt, that you can go check out. I'll link it in the video. And I've filmed tons of videos. Honestly, most of those videos are on this iPhone. On the iPhone 12 Pro, I believe, is where I filmed the majority of those videos. In the 11 Pro, I think that was a thing back then. But this Sony is what I upgraded to. It was inexpensive for the most part. I mean, everything's relative, right, in terms of what's expensive, what's not. But I have a Rode shotgun mic here, and then I've got the actual Sony here. And what's great about it is you can flip this screen up, and then it can record. And the big kicker here with this camera is the glass. So the glass is the lens. That's what makes most of these cameras pop, is when you have a really good lens. And in this case, the lens I think is like $1,500. It's an f1.4. So you're gonna get really good blur on your shots, as you saw in the last video that introduced this video. And so that really makes a difference. But I'm gonna take you to my office. We're actually gonna go to the office. I have meetings today for Crush for Ties. That's the main company I own. And in Crush for Ties, we're gonna focus on knocking out the operational transitions I have. I have a big OpEx meeting today where we go through the operational expenses, things like that. There's actually a finance meeting tomorrow, and I'm gonna work through those meetings. And if you're wondering where I live in Austin, Texas. This is downtown on West, and I'm up on the top floor of an apartment building here. And yeah, it's a great setup. I love this place. I've been here 4 years, not in this apartment, but I've been in this building for 4 years. This little bad boy right here is how I get to the office. It's literally a one wheel, it's called the EUC, electronic unicycle. And you flip down these little things and then you just go riding and balance with it. It's kind of like a single wheel Segway is the best way to describe it. It zips around. So this gets me to the office. I get like 30 miles range on this thing. It goes up to 18 miles an hour, which is plenty for me. I'm not like trying to be racing. They make ones that are like $2,000, $3,000 that will go with shocks and will go 30 miles an hour, but I don't want to wear all my protective gear and like have to rock that. I'm literally just going in and out of the office. So I just got to the office. This is our office here in Austin. We've got screens, 4 desks, and we used to have 4 guys in here, but we recently let go of one. He kind of moved on to what he wanted to pursue. Another one was with me for 4 years, and he also left. So it's really just me and Milo, basically my lead for sales team and operations, and myself. And we're looking to hire one more person. So we've got a guy that I'm interviewing today at 1 o'clock. We'll see how that goes. So today we've got a guy that I'm interviewing at 1 o'clock. We're trying to build the team back up here in Austin and get some more superstars in here to help us with our sales team. And this gentleman has previous experience. I'm kind of excited. He's a couple of years younger than me, a little bit more experience, been in the marketing online space for quite some time with some direct experience. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll update you all on how the day's going. I've got a couple other meetings on the books as well. There's some technical projects that we're working on that I think are gonna go through really smoothly, and we should have some good updates for those as well. So I'm about to prep for an interview, and I'm looking over the notes here for this candidate. I was gonna do a screen share and show you the software that I actually use, but because there's personal information on here, I'm just gonna kind of keep this private. But we use this program called Fresh Team, which if you haven't checked it out, it's really good. Freshteam.com. You go there, you pay a monthly fee, and then what you can do is you can add reviewers and HR folks within the team, interviewers, etc. And then you can link it to like Indeed, LinkedIn, and basically all the leads will feed in for job positions that you're hiring for, and you can essentially make notes, update things. So when you're hiring, especially when you're running a small business, it's really important to kind of keep your eyes and ears open, right? You don't want to not have prospects, and you always kind of want to be looking for top talent. And in today's world, there's more of it. So we're looking at this gentleman who's got previous experience, and I'm just going over some interview notes. He's already interviewed with both the teams. The other thing to keep in mind when you're hiring is try to come up with an application form so you can kind of pre-screen, know some of like the must-haves and the must-not-haves when you're hiring. Because if you don't know those, you might just be going into a lot of conversations where you're essentially just going to be talking to people that just don't qualify at all for the job. So create some kind of screening early on, and then that way when you skim through the application form, as well as on the job description, just making it really clear, hey, if you don't have this, do not apply. If you're not located in Austin, for example, don't apply. If you don't have direct media buying experience, don't apply. So all these kind of things come into play, and it makes it helpful for us as candidates. And then I would set someone up that's more entry, where their time in your company is a little bit less expensive, to do a quick 15-minute screen. Just say, hey, here's the job. Do you understand the job? Does it make sense? Are they actually real? Are they gonna show up for the interview on the initial screen? And then just, that way you can at least go, all right, there's now been sort of like a couple filters in place, and you're not stuck talking to somebody who wasn't supposed to be there in the first place and probably isn't going to be a good use of your time. And one more thing, if you're looking for resources on how to actually interview for candidates, I definitely recommend you check out Hiring Smart, the A Method for Hiring. These are good books. The general perspective is I want to make sure the candidate understands the job, understands what skills are required, what's really demanded of in this job, and then that they're a good culture fit, that they communicate well, that we can feel good about them, that they don't have anything that's a red flag in their past history in terms of maybe being a criminal or, just some of these obvious things that are kind of crazy that sometimes you come across where you're like, what is going on here? Anyways, a couple more tips there. Last thing I'll say, make sure that you are very polite, courteous, professional. You're selling them on you as an organization as well. So it's a two-way street. And if you come off as arrogant, egotistical, that you're just the all high mighty, you're going to turn off an amazing candidate potentially. And that's the last thing you want to do, right? You want to create a genuine communication path between you and the candidate so that you both feel good about the discussion, but you're very honest and candid, because you want to find out if they're not a good fit, ideally before you hire them. And you want to be very candid and kind of dig into their background and experience to see if that's the case based on what you know about the job. So this is kind of like one of our final interviews before we have an in-person interview, and I'm trying to be mindful of the time for both me, the organization, my team, and the candidate, and I want us to be able to have a good fit dialogue here with this discussion. All right, so I just did the interview with the candidate. He's a really solid find. I think that he's one of the best candidates we've talked to, has the right motivation, and has direct experience in the job. He's done the exact same job. So for me, it's really about finding that, because it's kind of a rare skill to be a media buyer and an affiliate. And if you can find someone who has both of those skills, or better yet, done exactly what you want, that can really cut down months on employee training, on their learning curve, and get results fairly quickly with someone like that. So in my experience, it's much better to hire someone who's already done that, who wants to join a team or a company where the systems and the process is really going to improve their ability to succeed, and also just find out where their motivations are at and where they are in life. If you find someone who's just looking to grab a quick buck, they're not super motivated on the career opportunity, but they just want to come in because they're looking for a job, it's not a good hire most likely. But then again, maybe you just need someone for a short period of time. But we generally don't see people leaving our company for at least 4 to 5 years. So I want people to have the growth opportunity, I want them to have the career opportunity, but I also want to make sure they're coming in with the right motivation and the right culture fit. Culture fit meaning like the attitudes, the communication style, their personality blends in well with the rest of the team, and their kind of background fits in with who the people are here. And so that's really important, because if they're very different or they don't really align with what we're doing, but they might have the great skill set or the motivation or drive, they're not going to last very long. So you got to find that blend of both those things. And I think those are the two biggest things to kind of look for is kind of like the attitude, culture fit, and then if they have direct experience, it can be huge. We just had our weekly ops meeting and went really well. Essentially what we do is we go through measurables. We use a platform called Traction Employee Operating System. We go through measurables, we go through issues, and we sort of queue up and review everything that's going on from the previous week. And it kind of downloads from current managers to where we are at. And for the most part, there weren't really any issues. So I created a bunch just to kind of address some of the ongoing things, as well as make a project which has some milestones for some things that I want to execute on this month. So if you don't do this in your business, I'd recommend you check it out. Traction is the book by Gino Wickman. And the other school of kind of teaching like this would be Rockefeller Habits by Vern Harnish. In my opinion, Rockefeller Habits is much more in depth. It's going to teach you to run a huge organization, but it would take you months and months and months, maybe years to really master and learn about all that stuff. I think with Traction, you can learn a lot of what you need to do. And for most business owners, I think Traction is going to be just fine. So check it out. I'll probably do an in-depth video depending on if you guys want to see this or not, just let me know. And I can break down like our dashboard, our org chart, how we structure our meetings, what they look like, how to really implement this into your business. But definitely a lifesaver in terms of creating transparency and accountability. Here's another pro tip. If you have an office, get some push-up bars, get some pull-up bands, things like that. You can just rep out a few sets and it just kind of gets you going. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gets the blood flowing. I'm gonna head back to the house right now and I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a decaf espresso Americano. And I got a 4 o'clock meeting we're gonna jump on for the tech team. So I finished my tech meeting. I had a promotion meeting after that. And now I am going to see if I can get a hold of one other person. Otherwise, I've got to knock out a few calls via things that I'm following up with on the HR side with the operations. You see, when you're kind of a one-man operation in terms of being the sole owner, you kind of own a lot of different responsibilities in the business, and there's a few things that actually still need to get done today. And so I'm going to make a couple phone calls here and follow up with a few people, and then we'll kind of wrap. It's 5:15 right now. I'd like to get outside. It's actually 78 degrees here in Austin, which is gorgeous, and maybe just, I don't know, go for a nice... Okay, so there you have it, a full day, kind of just a general kind of touch base of the different types of things I would go through. Had an interview, had 2 ops meetings, had a promotion meeting, had several things I'm still gonna kind of quickly knock out if I can, and then I'm on to editing this video to put it up so I can get it on the channel, and I'm going to hang out with the fam. So that's a day in the life. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment below, let me know. I'm looking for different ways to make the channel grow and just ideas to offer value. I am going to pivot to kind of a more, I think, style where I mix up the style of videos that I upload and just trying to go a little bit more off the cuff with who I am rather than trying to just kind of pump out a specific piece of content that's related to some specific topic all the time. Maybe just adding a bit more in this kind of vlog style because I think it's just a little more entertaining, a little bit more natural, and it flows a little bit easier. Definitely more work on the editing and creating side, but I think it's all worth it. In the end, I just want to grow and share this journey as I transition, and I want to help small business entrepreneurs as well as people looking to transition to the next career phase, and I think that can be achieved through giving some feedback on what's going on with my world and what I'm doing. So thanks for watching. Again, hit that like button, drop us a comment below and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and helps this channel grow. And I appreciate it so much. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one.